There's the fearless leader.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Right on.
We've got some interference there. Oh, it's gone. There we go.
Can you hear me, Don?
I can.
Hey, I got another shoe shot that I had just uploaded to the website a few minutes ago. I know it's late. I don't know if you'd be able to get it up or not. I was trying to get the second one done, and it took me a minute. So, but I got it up there.
You have to email it to me. I can't get to the website now because it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I only uploaded one. I didn't realize we were supposed to do two. I did two different shots, two different shoes, but only did one. I can just do a screen share if you want me to of the second one.
Okay.
You know, when you get to me, I didn't realize you're supposed to do two.
I only did one. I missed that.
I missed the two.
I missed that instruction apparently.
Me too.
I think it's a want to thing, isn't it?
It was. I'm sorry. It's a what?
It's a if you want to do a second shot, you can.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't think it's required.
Yeah. I rarely tell you that you have to do two. I say if you're going to do two, that's fine.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, then we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
We are indeed.
I'll just leave my other one on the Facebook page then, and people can give me feedback on that.
There you go.
Yeah, that works fine.
All right. So, gotta get everything lined up here just perfectly. Put that away. And then we'll switch over to.
Just getting a cuppa. I'll be back in a sec.
What's that?
It's Graham here. I'm just getting a cuppa. I'll be back in a sec.
He's got to wake up.
Exactly.
Middle of the night there.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to bed yet.
Oh, well.
I figure I'd never get up.
Wow.
Well, go get a cup.
All right. So here we go. Hey, Graham, I got a bunch of product from you. I didn't get. Oh, he went away, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Let's see. First up
Who else
is
we need to know you?
Barb Sherman. Whose is this, by the way?
Not mine.
That's mine.
Oh, that's Judy. That's Judy. That's all right. All right. Okay.
Wait, you know what? That's not for that you just uploaded was the one for the beer. That's not for the that was from my beer setup. It's not from the shoes. I'm trying to see.
Oh, okay. You didn't
have the shoes at the bottom with my shoes.
I think you
That one
uploaded
was-
it twice.
Oh, did I? Sorry. I might have uploaded it to the wrong page.
I think you uploaded the right page, but you didn't name it Splash.
Oh.
Go down here to
that
Splash.
goes to the Splash one. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's a Splash one. All right, I'll get it. I'll get it moved over. Not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem at all. All right. We'll start with Barbara Sherman.
Yes.
All right, Barbara. So you lit this all with a flashlight?
Yes. I did a base shot first, and you can see kind of what I did in my behind the scenes. All I did was in my basement that was dark. That's kind of the behind the scenes. I had a silver card over there behind the boots because I wanted to make sure I got the back end lit. And then that flashlight with that, it's a 45-degree angle piece of PVC pipe on it is what I lit most of it with. I did do a base shot. So it's not a real light painting completely because I did a base shot with the door open, and the door was right there facing the toe of the boots and facing the front of the boots. And so the base shot kind of was facing from the right-hand side, from camera right.
Okay.
And I had the door to the basement open. It was underexposed about 1.5 stops, and I used that as a base shot. Then I closed the door and lit the different areas with that flashlight, yes.
Very
And I
cool.
left the silver card mostly. Most of the time I left the silver card behind the back of the boots. But to get the heel, I did bring it to the front. The sole, the heel, the sole Yeah, down there. I kind of brought the silver card there as I was flashing on it, just to
Okay.
get some light on the bottom.
Uneven color.
And I did about 50 shots because I couldn't stay tethered because my laptop screen was interfering. It was creating light, and I didn't want light.
Oh,
So, yeah, and I couldn't figure out how to do that without having a big hood and stuff, and so I didn't do it tethered. So I ended up doing a whole bunch of shots and just looking at my my screen on the camera. And I basically it was about 8 to 10 seconds, and I turned the flashlight on and off. Some places it was only like 4 seconds or 3 seconds or 6. But the really bright spots, I did the whole 10 seconds. And I just kind of wiggled the light back and forth in circles and straight
Yeah.
up and down and
yeah.
stuff.
You can't let go. You can't let it be still because it'll make
Right.
Yeah.
I read that somewhere. So I found that out. And I tried what it did when it was still. It's like, oh, that doesn't work. So I was wiggling it
How to
all
replicate,
around. This is actually about 8, maybe 10 shots layered, because the light on the background is actually 2 shots.
Okay.
That little streak of light on the upper left. And then I have one that's the top of the boot, one that's the white piece going down, the toe of the boots, the arch, the front, and then all the design on that front boot. That's probably 3 or 4 shots. I couldn't get it in one. And then the rope. The rope is one too.
Well, the rope really stands out nicely.
I ended up dulling that. I had to burn that down. It was so bright.
Right.
Yeah. So I did all the time. I made it darker and darker and darker, and I can darken it more if I need to.
This is what
And I can-
this is what the manufacturer is going to look for. You know, did you
Right.
bring out this stuff? This stitching is very important, and it looks good. That stitching looks good. The toes look good. These little lines that go across the toe, those are built in. That's a design feature, right?
Right. Yes.
So, you know, when
And
you
then
see a
there's-
design feature, ladies and gentlemen, you must bring it out. That's what they want to see. So very good job there. The stitching looks good everywhere. I love this little bitty, I mean, that's a tiny, slight little line you've got running down the back there, girl.
I don't know.
Nice.
I guess that silver reflected it, or that little silver piece of foil thing did it. It was one of those silver cake things.
Yeah, nice.
I don't
done.
know.
I think you could probably use a little more light in here.
Okay, that was the hardest part,
Yeah.
because I couldn't. Every time I paint down there, it was too ugly. I don't know a better way of saying it. You know, I don't know. I'll try it again.
Take tin foil on the front of your,
On the front of the boards, just
no,
Run a
on the
strip?
front of, you've got this big light here. Put tin foil around it and make the tin foil fold it down so you have a tiny, like,
oh,
1/2 inch by 1/8 inch slit.
okay, yeah, because that light's about 1.5 inches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what happens with this light is you're lighting up a big area like this.
Right, right. It's
And what you're going to do with
spreads.
that other light, you're going to light up a little area like this big.
Okay,
You're just
Okay.
going to brush it, and you brush it on just like you're brushing on paint.
okay,
Okay?
yep. I haven't done this before, really, and I just read a whole bunch, watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and said, I'm going to try it because I love the look.
I'm glad you did. I think it's cool. There's so many things you can do with light painting too. I
It's
mean,
hard.
you can light paint traditionally like this, but you could also light paint with you plan it out, and then every time you light paint down this side of over here, you have a quarter CTO on your light, right?
Right.
So you're going to burn that down, and then every time you hit this part over here in the toe, you've got a soft focus filter on the camera lens, so that it's soft and then sharp at the same time. There's just 1,000 things you can do with
Hey,
it.
Don.
Very cool. Yes.
Would this be a good technique if you took a small flashlight and some cinefoil or whatever, and made a really tiny little pinpoint for jewelry, for the gemstones?
It can. It can be. Yeah.
Interesting.
Ken Howie used to take, those opticals, those little, like, they look like a brush with the little lights at the end, optical lights. he would do his jewelry shots with his his regular strobes, right? And then he'd shut the lens way down, and he'd take those opticals and hold them there, mount them there, and they would put all these tiny little lights in the diamonds, right? It would be like a 2-second or 3-second exposure, but all he would get back on the shot were all these tiny facets being lit up by the optical.
I know what you're talking about. They're like
fiber optics. That's it. Fiber
Yeah.
optics would light up these diamonds, and he just carefully blend that right in to the image. It's really, really cool. It's very cool.
Don, would that be colored fiber optics or just white?
Just white. He just used white.
Huh.
Yeah, that was his secret sauce.
Something like this. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I pasted a link to Amazon in chat. I'm something like this.
Oh, if you're going to ask me what kind of links he used, I don't know.
No. I mean, just general idea. I'm thinking that's what you're talking about, right? Kind of the whippy fiber optic light things.
Yeah, but these whole things are going to light up.
Yeah.
No. Only the ends lit up.
Oh, interesting.
So they were like
Okay.
dark. They were dark colored things that came out. Only the ends had light on them. In them.
Huh. Okay. All
So
right.
like they would make like little stars type thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's what he would use.
Okay.
I don't know if you could use this or not, Mike. Maybe it would work.
I don't know. I'll try anything.
Sure.
I
Why
don't know,
not?
it's $52.
Right. Well, they got super cheap ones here too.
Oh,
But
good.
that was just like that's literally the very first one on the page when I
Oh,
searched.
okay.
So
Yeah. Well, $52 for a light is not bad.
Well, if it
Yeah.
doesn't work, it is.
No.
yeah, you go 2 over and it's 11.
I just ordered a speed light with a full set of colored gels matched for the speed light, a trigger for the speed light matched with the speed light. The speed light has full to 1/128th power. It zooms, and it has a 1-year warranty on it. Oh, and by the way, it's a guide number of, I want to say 45 or something. So it's a good medium-sized powered speed light. What do you think it paid for it?
$1,000.
$39 free prime shipping.
Is that one of the Neewers or something?
I've never heard of this brand, but I thought for $39, oh hell.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
When I get on my
Yeah.
motorcycle and I put a flash in the back, I'm putting a $39 flash in the back. I'm not putting,
right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to carry my pro photo. So, all right. Nicely done, Barb.
Thank you.
Good job. Carla McMahon. Carla, look at this. There's a whole story there.
She said she wasn't going to be here today.
Oh,
I think she
okay.
said she was at a birthday party or something like that.
all right. I worked with
She had a
Carla and
post on
Sophie
Facebook.
yesterday remotely. That's really fun. If any of you guys want to do that, let me know and I will set it up. All you need to have is an iPhone or a phone with video and a laptop that you're shooting into. We meet on Zoom. I let you share your laptop to my screen, and then you dial in or you go in on your phone, so then I can see your set and I can see what you're shooting, and we can talk about it.
That's
All right,
really
Eleanor.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey Don.
All right. So you listened to my critique.
I did. I loved getting that. It's that Facebook thing. You just post something as a work in progress, and then you can make it better. It's
Yes.
fantastic. But I struggled with this shot a lot, and the next thing I do will not have any suspended stuff. Like the balloon was last time, and now the suspended shoe. It's so much work because it moves and getting the angle right. But yeah, I'm still not happy with this, Don. So I'd love to get some
Now,
some
what are you
advice.
not happy about?
Well, I want it to be in my portfolio, right?
It's
So-
definitely a portfolio shot. No problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that hanging shoe is working, or
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause it-
absolutely.
Okay. The reason behind it was I wanted you see everything on the shoe that's that's stationary, but you don't get to see the top detail, which is why I thought about hanging.
I think it's fine. You don't let perfection be the enemy of good. In other words, this may not match what you are now seeing in your head, but that doesn't mean what you did was wrong. This is fine. I could see a headline here and copy and everything. Without a doubt. What the client is going to look for is, did you show them that? And you did. Because that's real. This whole toe thing is very unusual.
Yes,
I would think that does not look normal to me, especially to pull this thing over to this side of the toe. Very, very. That's a design feature. That's a design feature. That's a design feature. That right there, that's a different kind of fabric right there, isn't it?
No, Don, that is actually leather, but I think it's picking up a reflection.
Is it the same leather as this, or is it shinier leather? It looks like it doesn't have texture on it.
It's actually, I think, the same leather.
Is it? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
The heel is featured, and you've shown me that it's got this little sort of chompy thing on the bottom. You're showing the potential buyer everything about this shoe that you possibly can. This is a very good shot, Eleanor.
Thank you. I think it's because I love the balloon shot so much that it's just, you know, the way. Does that happen to you when you make a shot that you fall in love with and everything else is just like a third child or something?
Well, yeah. I think my favorite shot is usually the one I just did.
Oh, okay. So you can.
It's like, so. Yeah. I'm very fickle when it comes. I have a few shots that I very much enjoy.
But Don, the lights were in really, really close, and then I wanted to use like Barb did. I wanted to use a bit of foil or something to the arch of the heel. I thought needed to be a bit more lit.
I don't know if you need to light it more. I mean, don't overlight it. Overlighting it is just as bad as underlighting it. Don't overlight. You've got everywhere here, Eleanor. I think you've done a very good job, and you matched the background with the shoe.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
That's very clever. Great use of. That's a perfect place for the horizon line. But what I said to you, you did. When you're doing a shot like this, you have to build highlights. That's your whole job, is to build highlights. If these were white, matte shoes, you would have to build shadow.
Yeah.
You'd be in there with black cars and knocking light off. But with a black shoe that's reflective, you have to build shadow. You have to build highlights. And you did a great job with it.
And thank you, Don. And I kept comparing it back to the Facebook one, and I thought, my God, how could I? It's funny when you see a lit picture or photograph, and you compare it to a not lit photograph, it's like, it's so obvious, but I didn't see it until you showed it to me. It's interesting.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Solid shot.
Thank you. I do have one question I'll ask at the end about using this. Well, here we go. So see the way the lights are in so close that when I did put anything close to light up anything, let's just say, like silver, I knew in Photoshop I could take it out, but the surround, it dulled the exposure of the picture, so then blending became very difficult. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. What are you saying? What happened?
So the toe, for instance, was blowing out. So I put a black card in very close to the toe.
Okay.
And I took a picture, and then in Photoshop I went to blend it. But the blending became very difficult because that blackboard was blocking the soft spot, which meant the overall picture was darker as well as the toe being darker.
Okay, I got it. All right. So the thing that you're putting in front of the shoe is how big was the black card that you put in front of the shoe?
Probably about 4 inches.
So right, you put something just like this.
Yes, and underneath the sole because it was reflecting up from the tile as well.
Okay.
Like an L.
Don't use a black card next time.
Okay.
Use a piece of like diffusion on a, put a little, hang a little piece of diffusion so it doesn't change too much of it. Okay.
Okay.
Let some light go through, because all you want to do is cut it down a little bit. You want to kill it.
Yes.
And the other thing to do is to just take, if it's too bright, great, just take a second exposure or stop under.
Okay.
And don't worry about it being too bright. You'll bring that one over the one that's too bright.
Okay. Great.
All right, very good. Solid. Good work, guys. Look at you.
Don, I got that other one emailed over to you whenever.
Okay. And we got, all right. All right, so come and tell us about this one here.
Yeah, I'm using continuous lights on the side, on the left-hand side, and then underneath, pointing at the background, it's on the speed light, and then there's a speed light pointing forwards, bouncing off the card at the side to just highlight that Dr. Martin's logo.
Okay.
So I'm pointing at it on my screen. Of course, you can't see that. Yeah, just to bring that up a bit.
Okay. And you're on the industrial boot side, very important to do this.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of design happens, but it's also lets someone buy it know what this tread's going to be like.
Yeah.
Some of them, this looks like looks like it would be really good. I don't know that much about shoe design, but that just says that it would be really good on wet surfaces. That I'm not going to slip.
Well, I think that center bit where it's got a logo on the side, I think it said it's oil resistant or something. So.
And this is good in here. We need a little bit. This highlight is good in here, right in here, but it's starting to go a little bit dark in here. This panel, we need to see a little bit more separation in that panel. Toe looks good. The side of it looks good. I don't even know if you need to light it, Kevin. Kelvin, I think maybe you could pull it up in Lightroom. Just use the brush, the little lightning brush. Just brush that and just slightly pull it up. These tabs, you want to see a little bit more of those tabs right there to give the side some definition. Could be a little bit of delicate work in Photoshop too, just to pull those up just a little bit. Shiner. Other than that, looks very good. Your halo light looks good here. Your tones are good. That's fine.
What do you think of the sawdust?
It's a hard shot to do.
Okay. Thank you.
What lens did you use?
I'm shooting with a Sony A6000 mirrorless, and it's a Sigma.
Okay.
I think it's a Sigma.
So your camera's right here, right to the side of me here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This light, let's get this light here into here.
Okay.
If you're in this tight with it, all that problem is going to go away. It'll be fine. Okay. Here's where to start with your light. This is for everybody. Here's where to start with your light. Put your light in till you can see it in your frame. Okay. We'll make that too close. Pull it out so you cannot see it in your frame. It's right on the edge of your frame. If you bumped your camera, you'd pick up your light. That's where you start with your light. It may not be where you end up with the light, but it's where you start, because you'll never know how that close light will do for your image if you start back here and you go, oh, that's pretty good, and you never find out what happens here.
Okay.
You're also going to need a black card, Kelvin. It's right along here, so you can block all this light from your camera. So right along your camera there, a black card coming out to knock that down, a flag, so to speak.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, got it.
Very good.
Thanks.
Quite good. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good shot. All right. We got some red high heels here. All right, Graham, this looks good.
Thank you. Good fun. What do you want to know?
Very nice. Well, nicely done with this candlestick here. What is happening with your background? I kind of like it. This streaks back here. I kind of like it, but it looks.
So did I.
It looks odd. How did you manage that?
Kink the sheet. So it's not a transparent. It's a just a black sheet, and I'd left it rolled for a long time, and I didn't let it flatten out. I actually shot it deliberately with that. I saw it, and I thought, oh, I like that. I was a bit concerned that it might have been too much. I ended up reshooting it. The first one that I did, I flattened near the top of the candlestick and the shoe, and then I left the rest creased.
Well, I don't think we have any. I don't think we're in doubt at all of what the finish is on these shoes. Obviously, very bright. We've got the toe of the shoe. We've got the height of the heel. We have the side of the shoe, and we have what it looks like on the inside. So you cover all the bases on this. It's a nice shot, Graham. Let's look at your behind the scenes here. So 2 from the side. All right.
And a flag at the front for the inside of the shoes.
Got this little guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we were holding that higher. It's just down there so I could get it in.
Very clean. It's a nice shot. It's real modern. That's gonna catch an art director's eye there.
We shot 2 versions of it. We had candles with it as well, but I thought the candles, and Suzanne also said the candles looked too cluttered to her as well. So this looked quite clean.
I would, if I would have been there, I would have put 1 red candle right there.
Grant, are the shoes hanging? Are your shoes hanging?
No, they're actually sitting on the candle holder.
So it really is sitting right there on that toe, on
Yes.
the heel is like balanced on the other part?
Yeah.
Wow, that's precarious. Don't bump the table.
Yeah, exactly. I shoot on the floating floor.
Is
It's
that
like nobody move.
Is that a regular candle holder or is that a religious symbol?
No, it was just a really cool candlestick from a local op shop. It's like, oh, I love that. I'm walking out with that now.
All right. What's the Jewish candle called? A menorah? Is that what it is?
Don't ask me.
It's 7.
Menorah, yeah.
3 on each side, 1 in the middle.
Right, but this one has 1 in front and 1 in back as well. So it's just a candle holder. I would think. All right. Really nice shot.
Thank you.
Graham. And the reason I was asking, by the way, is you don't want to take another religion's religious symbol and hang shoes on it.
Okay.
Twitter would kill you. Twitter would have your neck. Yeah, that's really, really solid. I really love the colors. Before we leave it, what did you do, if anything, in Photoshop? What's happening in Photoshop? That is a really tremendous red. Is really the reason I'm asking.
The red is the shoe.
I know, but I mean, did you do anything in Photoshop?
Not to the color of the shoe. Yes, it's a fair amount of Photoshop just on the one of the toe of the shoe had a scuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cleaned up. I straightened the candlestick because I left the crooked one on the side, but the candlestick was actually quite crooked, so I straightened that. I think I've removed some of the highlights on the shoe as well. But that is the actual color out of camera.
Wow, nice. Really, really.
Yeah, they're pretty
So
amazing
bright.
shoes.
It's so bright. It's just amazing. Now, anybody here ever work with magazines or print? Anybody ever do print work? Judy, so when you look at this red, what's the first thing that you think of running an ad? First thing I think of is there's no way in hell they're going to print this in a magazine, that red. Because remember, magazines are printed CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Computer screens are red, green, and blue. In other words, computer screens are just a different set of colors than ink. If this was going to be in a brochure, then the art director, I would actually call this color red, and they would add it as a fifth color. So that they would create the 4-color CMYK plate, come as tight to this as possible, and then I would just go right over the top with a fifth red color. And you can go, back in the day, 5 colors was very expensive, 6 colors was a lot more expensive. These days, 6-color presses are almost normal. So you can call it. I see brochures all the time, 6-color brochures. 4 colors still cheapest, but 6 color is not out of the ballpark like it used to be.
Okay, so that's because that really is the color of the shoes. They are bright as.
Yes, absolutely. And so if I'm the art director for them and we're doing a catalog, there's no way in the world that I'm going to leave this to CMYK.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Don.
Yeah, Fire Engine Red in CMYK is just hard. It's just hard. So is like Ocean Blue, because they don't have, there's no blue ink. It's cyan, which is more of a, how would you say, a turquoise sort of color rather than blue. So to make it blue, they add turquoise and black to make it blue. Everything's got black in it. All right, very nice. Really, really nice. Nice shot.
Thanks, Dom.
Solid shot, man. All right, Mark. Yeah, these are, where is Mark?
I'm right here.
Okay, these are very textured shoes, a soft, like velvety texture. That's hard, man.
Yeah, I asked my wife, what she had for shoes, and she brought these down. And because I had watched watched the reviews before, I'm like, I don't know if I want to shoot the black suede. I'll try it. I figured the best way to fight it would be putting that red spray light on the back, so that way it stands out and lights the back and the reflection coming underneath.
And you're right on one level, but it causes a problem on another level. In other words, the red is so bright that we when we look at these shoes, we're really only seeing the silhouette of them until we look closer, right? So I think what I'm saying, Mark, is I wouldn't have chosen red because it's too strong. I would have chosen a very light gray.
Okay.
And bring that up into it. I'm going to do something in Photoshop here with this. So hang tight. Grab this and put it down in Photoshop, and we'll take a look at your other image.
Also, while you're doing that, I could use some advice on getting the spray light to be better. I'm having a hard time controlling it. I don't have a snoot. I've got a grid. But sometimes the grid, I'm getting way too much texture on the background. Whether I used a sheet, that one's actually a sheet, and my wife stood on one side and I stood on the other side, and used a remote trigger for my camera to try and pull the creases and stuff out. Like, what's a good way for controlling spray? I see some of the pictures where they have got like just a splash of it.
And what are you using? A speed light?
No, it's that 300 watt second strobe.
Oh, okay, perfect. Here's the secret to it. Let's say this is your Your set is over here.
Okay.
With your shoes on it.
Mm.
And this is your sheet, okay? If you want a real, let's say you wanted a real tight spray that did this. Okay? And it just, from spray up to there. That would be the where it was totally disappearing, okay?
Okay.
That is your strobe put right here. Against the background.
Okay.
The closer you put it, the more it chokes up the light. With me?
Yeah.
If you're only 2 inches away from that thing, the light's going to escape out the side, but it's not going to go very far. And then all you do is adjust it back. It has to be lower than your desk, obviously. We don't want to see the light. But at the same time, we also here, let's clear this here. We also don't want to see the center part of the light, right? So if this is your background and this is your table here, your light's actually going to be down here. So we're only catching the very edge of it up here, because where it's hitting here, that's going to be just blown out. It's just blowing out. All we're going to catch is the edge, and you just adjust it from there.
Okay.
And Mark, the first time you do it, you're going to play with it, and then once you get it, you got it. That's it. It's not like some sort of thing that you have to struggle with all the time. You're just going to move it in or out just to vary the size of the circle that you want. It's really a piece of cake.
Okay.
Okay. So practice that. And if you want the red, use a red gel on the strobe.
That's
I have a feeling your red gel, you're lighting this whole sheet up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I'm going to give you if you have a bigger studio, your sheet's hanging down, your product's here, and your strobe is over on the back side of the sheet, right there.
Okay.
You can do that as well. I use plexiglass. I have a great big piece of white plexi for my backgrounds, and I generally go from the back with my strobe. But whatever works, and I use this kind of light all the time. I have a bunch of old pictures that I did of some young ladies, and we were shooting in a barn, and I wanted to get some separation on the back, right? And we had this great window light coming in from the front. So I was shooting the gals, and they were all wearing Western clothes. It was kind of a lifestyle kind of shoot, and I couldn't get any light back behind them that would show. So I tucked the speed light down in their jeans. Well, I didn't tuck it in their jeans. I had the stylist tuck it in their jeans with a trigger on it. So as they're like looking at this, there's a strobe firing from behind them in their jeans at whatever's behind them.
That is
right?
so cool.
So I'm shooting, and every time I'm shooting, I'm seeing this girl go like this. And I'm like, or maybe the strobes are scaring her. And after I've took about 20 shots, she goes, "Can we take a break?" And I said, "What?" She goes, "I'm getting shocked." I said, "Why didn't you say something?" Oh my God. She was getting a jolt from the damn strobe up against her skin. Poor girl, she had a little burn on there. I felt so bad for her. But she was a trooper. She was not going to give up. My God. And she thought everybody was getting the jolt, and she was the only one going to complain about it. So poor kid, she did a great job. But yeah, you can just get a little, don't tuck them in the jeans. I got the phone things that go on your belt. I got those, and I just would tape them with a piece of gaffer's tape. I use that all the time, and have photographers go, "Oh my God, I never thought of that." Yeah.
What were you going to show me in Photoshop on that?
I've got it loaded. I'm going to get through the rest of it, and we'll come back to it.
I also sent that second one over to you in the email. If you want to get that last too, that's fine.
And Don, the white plexi, was that translucent or solid?
Yeah, it's translucent. It's kind of thick too.
Sorry about getting that over to you so late. I was trying to get it done this morning, and it was challenging.
Yep.
I told my wife, working on this stuff, I was getting frustrated. I'm like, the frustration is because I'm a perfectionist, but then it also kind of makes you feel like, you know, it's hard to do. So there's not everybody doing it like portraits where anybody with a camera is a photographer.
It is. It's very hard to do. Do you play a musical instrument?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. It's hard to play a musical instrument too. And if you quit when it gets hard, you're never going to. Can you imagine how long it takes somebody to play the violin?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not equating to making photographs to playing the violin. Playing the violin is harder, much harder. But at the same time, we can't beat ourselves up when we just pick up the instrument and we don't sound like, you know, Heifetz, right? It's okay. We're gonna get through it. This is a lovely shot. This is very nicely done. Great product shot. You've got all the stuff, the height of the heel, what's it look like on the bottom, what's the side look like, what's the toe look like, and what's it look like on the inside. And that little, you got that little strip of jewelry to come out. So this is these are the, when you look at shoe ads, this is what they want you to show. You got to be able to show the consumer all the things that women want to see when they're looking at a shoe, not in their hands. Because if it's in their hands, they're going to look at the heel height. They're going to turn it over. They're going to look inside. They're going to look at how the toe works, because what's going on toe wise is important to the shoe, and also how high the heels are. So, yeah, really cool. Yeah, don't beat yourself up. This is a great shot.
Good.
This is yours, Mark?
Yep.
This is fantastic. Oh my God. I was just going to ask you, Don, which photographer's work is this? It's
very good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I sent the behind the scenes shot too. I have like a tent of cards around, trying to get through it to get rid of the reflections on the tip.
Well, you don't want to get rid of the reflections. You want to control them.
Control them, yeah.
And Mark, you don't wear these often, do you?
Only on Saturdays.
Okay, they're kind of Saturday shoes.
I like the black ones better. My heels stick in the ground with these. I'm good. So.
All right.
Your wife's a classy lady, Mark.
Thanks. These were actually ones that she got for our wedding. She ended up going with something different, though.
Yeah, so she could walk.
Right.
There you go. That looks like a shot right there. Are you guys all following Yakil Orgel on Instagram?
Yes.
You've seen what he does, right?
Mm-hmm.
They look like something out of spaceships. There's so many stands and things hanging over and lights everywhere, and it ends up being a jar of beer, you know, and there's like 6 lights and booms and everything. This is what a studio looks like. This is it. You're controlling the inside of your shoe with this. You're strobing the softbox soft over here. Strobe in the box over here. We're going to go back to the shot now so we can see what we've got. That's really nice. That little highlight right over here. The highlight in here. You don't want to kill the reflections in these jewels. You want to control them just like you did. Because if there's no black, there's no jewel.
Right. I learned something on this shot that I think was actually messing me up on the other shot, because I did this 1 second. If you look at the behind the scenes, there was nothing on the background, and I was getting background. I'm like, why am I getting background? None of my stuff is aimed that way. So I ended up having to put a black card on the strobe on both sides. There's one that's right next to the softbox, and if you see there's a corner of black fabric coming over the top of the softbox. I had to hang black fabric to cover over the vent on the right-hand side, because even the vent on the right-hand side was throwing light on the background. So I think that was also messing me up on the other shot when I was trying to get the red spray light, as I was getting all that extra light coming through. So I'm going to watch that.
Okay. One of the things that I see online, and I mentioned no names. That's not the point of this. But I just checked out a photographer who was doing a lighting workshop, and they had a model standing here, and she had a very sequiny on like dress on, and there was a lot of beautiful highlights on the sequin side. There was not much over there, and the photographer was saying we're using a classic light setup, and basically it was here's our subject, and it's like put the umbrella right here, right? And they were fairly right about where they put the umbrella, but that's all they had. When I look at a dress like that, I'm thinking, if it's a lifestyle fashion shot, great. If it's a fashion shot for fashion, I would have had a white card here. I may have had a white card here. Camera would have been here. I may have floated something over here, maybe a softbox and stuff. It's just not that simple where you just put up a light. You know what I'm talking about, right, guys? You see these lighting diagrams? They got a light over there. Here's where you put your light. Oh, my God. If it was that simple, everybody would be doing it. Yeah. It's not that simple. And the other thing that I use extensively are flags, which is a bar that comes off a C-stand, and then something hangs from the flag. But they're not black. They're mesh. Because this may be too bright right here. So I'm going to hang a mesh one-stop cutter. They're called cutters. I'm going to hang a cutter in front of that. You watch somebody like AJ, I'm forgetting his last name. AJ, oh gosh. I just saw him shooting something. But he's shooting fashion. He's got 3 or 4 cutters going on. And he was shooting behind the Scenes Academy Awards. Let's see.
Is it AJ Neist or something?
No, it was shoot. Oh, I hate the fact that I can't remember. I got so many names and stuff in my head that just roll around. Mark. No. That was 2019. These were 2017. I'll see if I can. I found it. Art Streamer. Art Streamer. Right. Now I got to get back to where he showed these. Oh, okay. I didn't find it. These are his this sort of his grab shots. He's out in the garden, and he's shooting all the actors and actresses, and he's got his lights set up, and he's got all kinds of
we're just seeing the white screen for now, Don.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here.
No worries.
Let's try this. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, guys. I can't find it. I wish I could. But when you see it, when you do see it, you'll see all the cutters. I will find it and post it on the Facebook thing, though. I always do find it. Yeah, same crap before. So I'll find it and post it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, good. Very good. And we're back to here. And these are Mike Thompson.
Hello.
All right, Mike.
Hi.
You did this. You chose the same sort of suede shoes.
Yeah, that was not my first choice. The funny thing is, I actually wanted. I used to have a pair of wingtips, and the past 20 some odd years, I barely wore them. So I was thinking, well, I'm going to shoot the wingtips because I actually like the look of men's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I have no idea where they are. So then I just grabbed this because this was the closest thing that looked clean on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of space around them. I think I probably would have twisted this one closer so that you could get in closer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your shot is really kind of, I mean, that's where you want to be for most of the shoe here thing, right? So if you turn this shoe to bring that toe into the corner, there's a lot of this going on here in the picture.
Yeah.
On the picture itself, that's an easy fix. That's just because someone's worn the shoe before.
Oh, the crease?
Right there.
Yeah.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
And in here too, you can clean that up. I think, and again, I think your challenge here with this kind of stuff is getting the light out of this.
Yeah, I was
soft black.
Having a hell of a time with that. You can see I used a silver card basically to try and push it in there, but that wasn't enough. I probably should have set up one of my other strobes with a snoot or something.
Well, yeah. My take on snoots, this is for everybody. My take on snoots is just leave them in the box for a while. They are very, very hard to use. They're so they're so hard. It's like taking a hammer to something. There's no finesse on a snoot. It just makes a circle of light. Grid would work.
Or barn doors or something.
Yeah. Well, even barn doors can be. Well, barn doors are real close to the light, so they supposedly soften the light, but they can still see an edge on a barn door. I would say a grid in here, and I'm thinking maybe like a speed light with a little grid on it. Bring it really in close at a very weak power, and just glance it off that shoe there. Just off the shoe, and then lift that part of the shoe up and drop it on this shoe. Because the only way I can see to light this shoe in its current position would be to have a card right about here.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's going to be a problem.
Hey, Don and Mike, what's the difference between a grid and a snoot, or how do you grid?
A grid is a thing that goes over your lights like this, and it has a honeycomb in it. All these little bitty holes.
Okay.
So if you think about the grid, the lights behind the grid, as it comes out the center of those little straws, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pure light. It's not being blocked. As it goes to the side, it's going to go through you've got the little tube, and this light's going to go through. It's going to be blocked by most of this tube, so just a little bit's going to get out. So what you have is something that's very bright in the middle and a very, very soft, bright in the middle, very, very soft on the edges. A snoot is just a hole. And so the light comes out of the hole, and it just lights this up over here, and you've got an edge to it. There's no edge on a grid.
So would a grid go in front